Good morning, everybody. So we're going to go over affixing augments and understanding how to do it correctly and making this easier on your brain so you can understand it. A lot of the information out there is a little overwhelming or it doesn't get to the point. A few of them actually do make sense, but you might have to do some more research on your own afterwards. So I'm going to try to do all the research for you. I'm going to have all the information in the description below with links to the sources so you can make your life easier instead of living in hell while trying to fix something. And if this isn't for you and still don't understand it afterwards, you can easily just buy the item that someone affixed for you. So let's dive into it. So for affixing, I'm going to show you starting off is let's say you have a unit or a weapon, either or, and we're going to use a unit for this discussion, and I bought some uh, previously I'm going to use. And you want to add more slots to it. So it only has, let's say this one has 2. Okay, so you're going to pick this. And you want to make it 3. Not a problem. The key factor here is if your unit or weapon has 2 that you're using, you have to use something that is the same equivalent slot number or more. You can't use less. That simple. So we got a 2, so we have to either A, match it with 2 slots or more. So we're just going to match it with 2. And if you want to increase the odds or the chances of it, another 2 units. And that will increase the chances. Anything after that, it's like irrelevant. Don't even waste your time. Don't do it. It's a waste of money. Just don't. Okay. So let's say you want to go for 3. Well, anything with a 1 on it is pretty much always going to be 100%. They're just like fillers or trash or whatever you want to call them. They just take spots that are easy for you 100%. Because you don't want to pick something higher that's at 60% and try to give it an extra augment. Because if you give it an extra augment, everything's going to drop. So these are all 100%. Now it's 85. So let's say you wanted that 60, right? Now it's 51. And then you're going to have to use something to bring up that percentage. It's just not worth it. So here it is, 85%. Now if you were to, let's say, not do 2 units and just 1 unit, 100%, 100%, 75. That's why you want to do 2. So you pick the unit you're going to be adding to it, and then you add 2 more. It's the same thing for weapon as well. It doesn't have to be a unit. It can be a weapon. It's the same concept. It works both ways. And we're going to go with the 2 unit because it has better odds. So we're just going to throw out might, precision, and we'll throw casting. Why not? So it's 85% chance. So what this means when it comes to percentage, it's not saying, oh, it's only 85% chance that all this will go. Each one has its own role. Does that make sense? So might has an 85% chance to stick. Precision has an 85% chance to stick. Casting one has an 85% chance to stick. And if it doesn't work out, we'll find out. I'll explain in a second. Let's roll. So we're going to pay a few. And we're going to roll. You can use boosters if you have boosters. And so on and so forth. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Right now we're not going to use anything like that. This is just a show for example, so you guys get the idea how to upslot. And we'll see if it works. Okay, so it didn't work. So now you see what happens. So we started with 2. We're trying to get a third. It was an 85% chance for each one. These 2 were successful. The third one didn't work out. So since the third one didn't work out, we stay where we started. But let's say casting 1 didn't work out. Would be down to a 1 augmented unit now. So then we have to get it back to 2. And if it did work out, we'd be at 3. And that's upslotting. It could deslot while you're upslotting. Yeah, it's kind of the burden, right? And it's kind of a pain in the butt. But it is what it is. Alright guys, now let's talk about the 100% chance of putting an affix on a weapon. How to get it without playing RNG or using any buffs or boosters, whatever you want to call it. Literally given to you by a click of a button. Alright, so there's certain weapons out there that you get to plus 35, and once they're at plus 35, you can sacrifice those weapons to give you an ability. So I'm going to use an example, the Daisy Chain. Daisy Chain, you can get Alter Arma. And once you get this plus 35, Alter Arma is unlocked for free. So let's say, okay, it's locked. Hold on. Let's do, I gotta unlock it real quick. Sorry about that. Weapons, Daisy Chain, unlock. I want to show you. So go to fix. Okay, so we're gonna say we're gonna put something on this weapon, on this Sigma, and we're gonna pick the Daisy Chain. Okay, confirm. 100%. Right there, automatically, will be 100% no matter what. The only way it's not gonna be 100% if I were like, let's say, try to like, I don't know, upslot it or something like that. I'm just clicking things. Okay, it's gonna drop down. Then you're gonna need a booster, right? But besides that, it's 100%. And there's multiple things you can do, multiple weapons out there that give you the augments or fixes, whatever you want to call it, the 100%. And let me just show you real quick where you can get this Daisy Chain. Talk to this lady, the Photon booster exchange, and there it is, right there. And so real easy to get, right? Photon boosters will get you that. And here's another one too. This one gives you something else. Blade Stabilizer gives you, I think, like Flick Magi or something like that. But there's several different versions or different weapons out there that once you get to plus 35, they unlock an augment for you or an affix. And there's a website you can go to, and it's right here at the PSO2.arcs dash, I don't know what you want to say that, Visaphone, or Visiphone, however you want to say it. And you can just type in what you're looking for. You know, if you're looking for modulator, it'll tell you what we have, you know, if we currently have these or not. It's kind of like the Ray weapons right now that you can trade in with the Rising Weapon Badges too, and you can get the Ray weapons, but you need like, I don't know, 600 Rising Weapon Badges too to get that weapon to 35. And then once it's at 35, you can use that weapon to get Astral Soul for free, 100%. Astral Soul on your weapon. I think weapons are the easiest things to augment because you have 100% guarantees that you can get on your weapons. Whatever you're looking for, you know, Stigma, here's Alter Arma, there's the Daisy Chain we just talked about right here. Daisy Chain, Alter Arma, once you get to plus 35. And whatever you're looking for, you can go to this website. It'll be in the description below for the video. So we don't have all these weapons yet, but eventually we will. And this is just a nice place to go when you're trying to get certain things like Jix. They drop quite often, and you can get yourself, you know, your sentence power or your sentence shoot from Jix. You can get your sentence, pretty much any of the sentences. Jix is the go-to. Well, not all the sentences, but you get me on that. So I just want to let you know about that. And now that you know about that, it makes things easier, doesn't it? So another tip also when you're getting those 100%. So let's say for the Daisy Chain, for example, I want to put on like a 6 augmented weapon. So like my Nemesis here. All right, let's say I want to cast it. I want to put Flick Magi in here. And it comes off of not a Daisy Chain, but it comes off of the stabilizers. But we're just going to use example Daisy Chain gives me that flick, okay? That's the Flick Magi it's going to give me. Well, to make this go into this, I has to match the augment. Okay, check. Let's say it does. Clearly it doesn't right now. But we get the 6, and that's the 6. We're good. And then on top of that, you can add different things on here. So let's say you want to add certain things to make your life easier. You can create this Daisy Chain that's automatically going to get sacrificed to give you the flick. And then you can add, let's say like this, that has Mastery 3 on here, Stamina 3, Spirit 3, so on and so forth. And that can be knocked off your list as items that you need. And maybe you can put a boss soul on this, you know, to make one less boss soul while adding to your weapons. So you can use the 100% and also build your 100% to have certain stats on them to go into your main weapon to make your life easier and more cost efficient. that's just another thing to do. It's kind of like a win-win, you know. You're not only going to be getting what you want on there from getting it to plus 35, but now you also conditioned it to have certain abilities on there that will also go on there. So you're getting multiple augments at the same time. Now, these won't be 100%. You would have to use boosters and whatnot to get these, but I'm giving an example. Like, you could do that. So if you want to, like, let's say 200%, so you get two weapons at, you know, plus 35 that you want on there, but those two weapons can have the boss souls on there to cost you less money because you put the boss souls on there. So when you use those two, you will get the boss soul on your main automatically knocked out instead of buying other weapons to do so. It's probably a little over your head right now, but hopefully it's not. Uh, just giving some examples. I'll show you a website that literally breaks all of this down for you. So let's end at this segment right here before we go into the next part. All right, guys, now we're going to talk about building up your weapon to what you want it to have and how to get the end goal. Okay, so there's websites you can use to build what you want on them and plug in all the fodder pieces, which are, let's say, here's your base. This is a website here. I'll leave this link below in the description. And let's say you wanted, you know, casting 4 on something. And junk, what it stands for is your 100%, which is your casting ones or precision ones or your resistances, any resistances, any of the gels or whatnot, like the wind resistance, fire resistance. There just it has to be at 1 though. Once it's 1, that's considered junk or trash. It's just 100% augment, and that's just the fill. It's a filler pretty much. Um, so for example here, this shows. Let's say you wanted casting 4, and to get casting 4 to 80%, you would need casting 4, casting 4. So if you didn't have it here in your main, you would have to have it over here on, let's say, your third fodder, and this wouldn't have casting for because this is your main base, right? You wouldn't have it here, and you just have 2 junks, just 2 junks. Oh, this is missing a junk. Let me add a junk. So then there you go, casting 4. But this saves you money if your main hand already has it. But you could also do this to build your main hand to have it. So it shows you 80%. There's your casting 5 at 30%, and then you go junk, and we're not going up. We're not doing 3. But I'm just showing for a quick example or reference that you can use this tool base to find all the things you want. There is all your souls here on the left. I personally don't like this website. I mean, some people use this over other things. You got panels and so on and so forth. But I think there's better ones out there. This shows you where the augments is, the aids you can use, 40%, and it calculates it for you. And I think it's good. It's just not for me. I personally don't like it. But if you want another one, this is another one. I like this one here. I'll leave the link below. I don't really know what this website's called. I'm not going to pronounce that. That's too intense. But let's say this is your goal. You just click the plus button, and then you can shift through all this and figure out what you want to put on your weapon or your unit. Always find weapons very easy. Everything for weapons on augments or affixes is cheaper. Uh, your units are going to be way more expensive. The drop rate for them is less. Uh, it's a pain in the butt with the units. So units are your your babies, you know what I mean? But they're hard to get up there. They're a pain in the butt. So whatever you want to do, pick your poison. But weapons are very easy. It's something you should definitely experiment with. And here we're gonna pick. Let's say you want power 4, stamina 4, ultra armor, Volsol, and noble power. Okay, well noble power is automatically free. It's something you can buy off the market, and it's just like an augment thing that you put in there, just like the weapons when you're at plus 35. At the end of the screen, I'll ask you if you want to use this augment, and so on and so forth, and you'll be able to use it. So let's say this is what you want, and then after searching all, you put it all over here. If you don't want it, click the trash can and get rid of it, and it's gone. All right, and then it tells you the stats what you're going to have when you're done with it. All right, this is not amazing, but it's not bad, but it's whatever. So for example, then we're going to hit affix, and then we're going to pick the affixes. So this already knows that no power is 100%. Um, let's see, and then let's see, Volsol. We do have Silver Scepter in the game, actually, we do. but we're not going to use that. So we're just going to talk, let's say we're going to use 3 vol-sols. All right, not the best percentage. And then we're going to do alter arma. We're going to say special ability factor because we're going to get that from plus 35 weapon. Um, and then we say we want stamina 4, and it shows you all the different methods on here and the percentage you'll get from doing this, which I think is amazing compared to this. You kind of got to plug it all in and figure it all out, and this does it for you real quick on the fly. Don't get me wrong, this still does it. Shows you down here. But this one is, I think, is way more unique and better. And it's all the recipes right here. You don't have to go look them up. It provides it for you. Whoever wrote this, you're amazing. Keep it up. So let's just say we're doing all stamina, stamina 4, and stamina 4, right? Who cares about percentages? We're just clicking. For example, you want power 4, we're just going to pick, 3 power 3s, right? Confirm. All right. And then here it comes, your main fodder. This is your main hand, right? You're automatically going to get the special ability for the plus 35. How you want to put it or move it around, you can do whatever. You can say that this is your plus 35 right here, and this has, the stamina 4 on it. This has stamina 4. If you're going to use 5 pieces, you don't have to use 5 pieces. You can take this off. You're like, nah, I'm only going to use 4 fodders with a main. And my main is not going to have vol on it. We're going to make the fodder have it, all right? And then you can be like, well, yeah, I said I was only going to do 4 fodders. So we're going to pick you, and let's say put it on this one, right? Just stack it. Now that's more expensive, but and then you'd be like, okay, that's good, right? All right, my fodder piece needs to have these two, and this is just junk, doesn't matter. And then just these two, and then these 3, and then these 2, and your main hand doesn't have anything that's relevant, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, I got it. And you just confirm, and then it pulls up, and it shows you what you need to put on there. Boom. That's simple. It's real easy, real easy. And then you can come over here and say, I'm going to use a 40% booster, and then it tells you, oh, you're going to have a blah, blah, blah percent. And here it is, 76, 76, 100%, because that's automatically guaranteed. Noble is going to be 100% automatically because it's, it's an item that asks you when you're fixing. And then, your soul. So that's the odds, but let's say it's boost week, right? There's going to be a week that's like boost week down here. And it's 10%. Oh, now that's what it's going to be if I augment on the boost week that PSO2 does. When they do it, just got to wait for it. That's the best time to really push for more affixing on higher, uh, I don't know how to say it, but pretty much more expensive gear with a better chance pool. You know what I mean? Like that's the way to do it. So these two will be down in the description for you. It's real simple when you plug it all in. Really easy. Really easy. You can literally plug play and move things where you want it to be, and it'll tell you the percentage and the outcome. It's not too hard. The only difference is some of the things aren't translated correctly to the American version or NA version. Like power is not power, it's might. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a little tricky, but I think you guys can manage. I'm pretty sure you guys can manage. So that's the talk for this right now, and then we're going to move on to soul recipes. All right, everybody. So we're going to talk about soul recipes. I'm not going to get too in depth with it. I'm going to leave a link below so you can do a little research yourself and a little bit of recipe searching because there's a lot. I'm just going to touch some bases real quick. So you got the same item bonus. If your item is the same name, same item, you're going to get a increased rate of 15% success rate on your affixing or augmenting, however you want to call it. Then you got the special ability factor, which I was talking about previously, getting a piece up to plus 35, the weapon. You're guaranteed that affix or ability factor. That's what they call it, ability factor. I don't know much about the S-class abilities right now. Special combos. I do know about the soul receptor. Using soul receptor, it pretty much makes it that your soul, whatever you're using, transfers 100% rate, which is nice. We just got those recently in NA, but only on a 5 augment, and that was through the challenge mode, and you would change in your challenge mode credits to get the weapons. There were only 5 augmented weapons, so a little rough, but not too bad. Your ability 3, you can see right here, ability 3, you can use the recipe of what's called Power Shoot Technique 3, which is I think might, precision, and casting is what we have in NA. And then you have the other version, which is body, react, and mind. I'm not sure what these are exactly off the top of my head, but I think it might be, I don't know, one for PP, maybe stamina and defense. I don't really know the names of all of them, but you know, a little research. Arc's Max. Having multiple copies of Arc's Fever will let you choose Arc's Max, which is plus 25 to all attack. Pretty nice. Astral Soul. We can get that right now with plus 35 raise, guaranteed 100%. But if not, you would need these boss souls put together to make a soul catalyst. I don't recommend this. This is uh, it's just, yeah, it's a low chance, really low chance to make this, and very costly. I mean, if you're min-maxing and you're trying to make things or trying to sell for profit and stuff like that, it's a gamble, but you can make that yourself. Just high RNG, very high RNG. So I wish you the best for those who do that. More to you, more power to you. And that's kind of all I really want to touch on. But this website has examples to you, to show to you, and plenty of examples and walkthroughs. I mean, I'll just leave it in the link below. But it's something to go back and look at if you're interested in knowing soul recipes, or the ones that you're interested in. But also the one I showed previously, the build, what you're building here from this tool, it will automatically show you the recipes available for how you're trying to get it. Just saying. So kind of knocks it out for you. So knocking that out, let's talk about where to get your increase enhancements. So let's say you're enhancing and you run out of 40% or 30% boosters. Well, at the X Cube shop exchanger, you go to this person, and we're just going to scroll all the way down. Okay, and here it is. Augmenting. 30% aid, 40% aid. 100 X cubes, 20 X cubes. So 20 for 30%, 100 for 40%. So a little costly, honestly, for the 40% compared to the 30%, but eventually we're going to get a 45%, I believe. But you could do Magatsu and so on and so forth that drops plenty of X cubes and abundance, just abundance of, you know, Dios or however you want to call it, but pretty much your 10 stars, you know. You go to the swap shop, X cubes, you know what I mean? Just not going to do that to this, but you know, you know, you would have tons of Dios and you just get tons of X cubes, and that's how I get X cubes. So I just want to make this kind of short and simple and sweet, and just kind of touch bases. I went through tons of videos and looked at them, and how I learned was pretty much I watched 7 different videos of other people telling me how to make all this happen, and then me playing around with it, and then reading websites for hours and hours and hours. And I came to the realization that I found out more information than what most of these videos told me, because I had to watch several videos and then do research to find it all out. So the whole point of this was just pretty much, I wanted to explain it, give you an example of it, and then leave you all the links below with all the details and all the information so you can really educate yourself on it. I hope I was able to educate you a little bit, or maybe enough to kind of get you not so scared of it or more understanding of it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like it, if you didn't like it, or maybe I forgot something, but I didn't want to go too in depth with it. I didn't want to sit here and literally make examples of each one. Maybe that's what people need to see, But I felt like using those two websites that literally can plug in what you want and play with it is kind of all you really need at your disposal. Like that should help dramatically, or drastically, my bad, and save you a lot of money because then you don't have to go and spend all this money on the market trying to find these things or whatnot, and you can save up and get it. So enough of my rant. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope this helps you out there. And good luck on your augmenting and affixing. See you guys.